Lions TV, good afternoon from a cold, wet and windy M6. I was going to say Coventry, but we've left Coventry now, thank fuck. Absolutely freezing cold, soaking wet, windy. Conditions weren't fantastic, but despite it being 0-0 today with the under-23s against Coventry under-23s, it was a very good, entertaining second half. We fielded a very strong side. We're third in the division against Coventry, who are second in the division, both trying to make up ground and games in hand on Watford, who are top. So we went with a strong side, and it was a good competitive game. As I said, it was Ryan Sanford in goal, and we played three centre halves. Aidan Muller, who is the under-18 captain, played well centre-back alongside James Brown and Rob Strachan. Two wing-backs, Yuri Skalak played right wing-back, and Best Topoloj played left wing-back. Two central midfielders were Billy Mitchell and Ryan Leonard, and then the three up top, obviously George Alexander leading the line, and then either side of him was Tyler Berry and Aidan O'Brien. So as I said, a strong side, a lot of names you'll recognise there from first team action, and I was expecting a win. We started the game well. George Alexander's hit an absolute rocket after about 2 minutes for about 20-25 yards just outside the box, I think he was, and it's absolutely cannonballed off the bar. Great strike from George. He played very well in the game, did everything right in the first half. I've got to be honest, I don't like to bury people though, but on the subject of Berry, excuse the pun, Tyler Berry, so self-indulgent. Aidan O'Brien just looked like he didn't fancy it. Looks like he just tossed it off now, to be honest. So with those two behind him, you know, not really a great supply for him, but he done well with everything he did. I felt him, I sound like a broken record, Billy Mitchell and James Brown were the three standout players for us. James Brown looked very strong. Billy Mitchell played alongside Ryan Leonard, and again, I don't sound like a broken record, but seeing them two play next to each other, Billy Mitchell is miles in front of Ryan Leonard as a player. And if you looked, someone said to me during the game, if you looked at those two playing in the centre of mid, you wouldn't be able, well, you probably would be able to guess who was our record signing. You'd think it was Billy Mitchell, but no, Ryan Leonard, you know, he's coming back from fitness. He went off after an hour along with James Brown, and weirdly, after he went off, we sort of tailed off a little bit and Coventry come back into the game. So although I didn't think Leonard played well, it was a difficult one because he was getting forward, although he was making the wrong decisions, giving the ball away frequently. He is coming back from an injury, so I don't like to get on his bollocks too much, but I can only go by what I saw on the day. So we went in at half time, it was 0-0. Slightly uneventful. We did pot the ball about nicely at times, so James Brown looked very good to me coming forward as well as defensively, and I like him as a player, and I'd like to see him involved in the first team going forward. After that, the second half, we come out the second half, and as I said, after an hour, Leonard went off along with James Brown. Obviously they're both coming back from fitness. That was obviously a pre-planned substitution, and Coventry started to didn't get on top at first. We just seemed like we was getting pressed back further and further, and our only outlet really was Tyler Berry. And the frustrating thing with Berry, as much as I've just said what I've said about him in the first half, he does have potential. It just reminds me of a little bit like Fred Onyedinma. He's so self-indulgent. When he gets the ball at his feet and runs, he's clearly talented, he's got pace, and he's got ideas, but his ideas is to run directly for the goal and not even get his head up for anyone else. But we're using him as our outlet in the second half. He dragged us up the pitch a couple of times. We eventually got the penalty. I think it was Yuri Skalak brought down. It was a penalty in my eyes. George Alexander steps up and misses his first penalty since God knows when. Unfortunate for George. It was a half decent save. I've seen it back in real time. I thought it was a poor penalty, and watching it back, the goalkeeper's 6'6", and he's got down well and saved it. But George would be disappointed that he didn't add to his tally and put himself joint top scorer again in the under-23s Development League table of stats. After that, Coventry up their tempo. They went at us. One player I haven't mentioned who also played well was Ryan Sanford, and the reason that's just jogged my memory is not long after we get a penalty, Coventry go at the other end, they get a penalty of their own. Very similar situation. We're getting in behind people. I'm not sure who brought the guy down. It could have been Rob Strachan, I'm not sure, but a shot, a penalty. He sort of shows Sanford the eyes, goes to switch back across. Sanford guesses the right way and holds it as well. Brilliant save from Sanford. He made another good save from long range earlier on in the game, and it was a good performance from Sanford in goal. I've not really seen much of him. I don't feel that the club really fancy him because he can't get a sniff, and he's been around. He's been around the club a long time now. But fair play to Ryan Sanford. Good saves, guesses right, holds onto the ball as well, which is important. And after that, I'll be honest, we was lucky to escape a point. Coventry continued to press, they continued to dominate, balls into the box, shots from distance, goal mouth scrambles. It was a very, very good and entertaining 0-0. Development-wise, as I said, good games from James Brown, good games from Billy Mitchell, George Alexander. I like the look of Aidan Muller, I forgot his name wrong, I think that's his name, the under-18s captain. He played as centre-half, good young defender. So from that aspect, it was good. From a first-team aspect, surprised to see Aidan O'Brien in amongst it and playing a majority of the game, if I think all of the game. Yuri Skalak suggests to me those two could possibly be on their way out of the club. And from another first-team point of view, Ryan Leonard and James Brown get minutes under their belt, so to come back into contention hopefully soon for the first-team squad. But yeah, that's it, 0-0 final score. Still in the hunt to win the league, but today, 0-0 in Coventry. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.